What's up guys, Gadget Friendly here. In today's video we're taking a look at Amazon's new Echo Dot. This is the pint-sized version of their Amazon Echo speaker that does not physically require you to interact with it like their new Echo Tap does. This one's also cheaper at only $90, so this is the one that I chose to go with and I chose to review it for you guys, so let's take a look at how it works. On the back you can get a breakdown of some of its functionality. It uses Wi-Fi to connect to the network, Bluetooth to interact with speakers, and then the Alexa voice service so that you can initiate voice controls or voice requests. It's designed around hands-free use, so with the Alexa voice service you can easily get info, play music, read the news, set alarms, or connect to other Internet of Things devices like smart lights or anything along those lines. It also uses voice control, so what that means is that you can connect it over Bluetooth to Bluetooth speakers. When you speak to the device, you'll hear the responses through those speakers, or if it's physically plugged into them with an auxiliary cable, it works in the exact same way. It uses far-field voice recognition, so you don't have to worry about your distance or your direction when you're talking to it. It has 7 microphones, so you can speak to it in 360 degrees. It also has speakers or microphones that can cancel out background noise and distinguish your voice from other background noises. And of course, since there's not a screen or many physical buttons on it, Amazon chose to go over the air with the update, so you can remain hands-free, cords-free when you're over the air updating. And that's pretty much an overview of how it works, or at least a quick overview. Let's unbox it, get a better look at all of the hardwares and accessories, and then we'll connect it in the living room and see how it works. Alright, so to open the Dot, there's 2 little slits that come on each side. I've already removed mine, so you can just take it out of the sleeve. And then the lid folds back to reveal the Dot itself. So that's the first piece of hardware that we're going to be taking a look at. It's about the size of a thick hockey puck, I would say. Let me give you guys a better look at it so you can see it without the plastic wrap on. So here's a closer look at the top of the Dot. To quickly go over what we have going on here, on the left we have a button to disable the microphone. I don't think you'll be using this too much because it is very reliant on being able to hear you, but you do have the ability to turn it off if you need to. This little circular hole here is actually one of the 7 microphones. The rest are encased behind the little grill that you see here. This button on the right is the action button. This is used to wake the device, to dismiss alarms, or to go into the Wi-Fi setup mode if you need to connect it to the network for the first time. The white ring that you see that goes around it is actually an LED light. Depending on what you're doing, it may either be blue or red. Looking at it from the front, we have this little line that kind of divides it in 2. What this is actually how you adjust the volume on the speaker. If you turn it clockwise, then you're increasing it, or counterclockwise, it's decreasing it. We also have an Amazon logo. Flipping to the back, there's an LED light. The light will be white if everything is working properly, orange if the Wi-Fi is disconnected, and blinking orange if the Wi-Fi is connected but the Alexa service is not working. Beneath that is a micro USB for connecting to your power outlet for charging or for powering it on. And then we have a 3.5mm audio out for connecting to your receiver or to a Bluetooth speaker. On the bottom, this surface here is actually kind of rubberized. It's grippy, so it's there to help with stabilizing it. It also slightly elevates it so you can hear the audio without it being muffled or going straight into whatever surface it's on. And then there's a little hole here that you can use to reset the settings if you need to go back to the factory defaults for some reason. And that's pretty much it for an overview of the Echo Dot. We'll take a look at this in a little more detail in just a second. So that's it for the Dot. Beneath it we have some documentation. Take a look at what kind of written stuff Amazon has provided in the retail packaging. The first here looks like it's the quick start guide, and it is. It says getting to know the Dot, how to plug it in, how to download or where to download the app, and then how to connect it to your speaker. So this is pretty much just a quick start guide on how to set everything up and get it running out of the box. They've also included a things to try card. This has useful suggestions on how to interact with it, so you can try playing back music, listening to shows, podcasts, and the radio, setting alarmers or times, getting info for sports, shopping, asking general questions or answers, news, weather, traffic, and stuff like that. So pretty much tells you out of the box what kind of useful things you can do with the speaker. Beneath that we have, or next to that, we have our charger. This looks like it's a 5.2 volt, 1.8 amp charger, and it's a US plug, so it just connects into your outlet and then with the USB cable into this side and then into the speaker if you need to charge it up or connect it for power. And then we also have cabling here. It looks like we have this little insert. This provides us with our 3.5mm auxiliary cable for connecting to your receiver, any type of Bluetooth speaker or anything that really plays back audio. And then we also have the micro USB cable. So when you need to power the device, you can plug it in with this into the wall outlet, and that should provide it with its power. So that's it for the quick unboxing of it. Next up, let's connect it in the living room and see how it works. Alright, so now we're ready to go through the setup process. I just wanted to walk you guys through this quickly. So there's two ways that you can go about setting up the Echo or connecting it to the network. One is through the browser on your PC, and the other is using the Amazon Alexa app, which is what we're going to be looking at in a minute. But what you want to do is power it on, and you just turn it around, connect in your micro USB cable. If you need to plug it into your speaker or your receiver, then you can connect in the auxiliary cable as well. Once it's received power, it's going to do this little boot sequence, and the lights are going to kind of spin around in a circle. And when it's completed, they should turn off. And at that point, you're safe to get on your smart device. It could be a phone or a tablet, Android or iOS. There's support for both operating systems. And essentially, you're just going to download the Amazon Alexa application, and you're going to install it. It's a free download. You also want to ensure that your smart device is connected to the same Wi-Fi network that you plan on connecting your Echo Dot to. This will ensure that they're able to see each other when you go through the setup wizard. So once you've opened the application from the home screen, what you're going to want to do first is click the little hamburger that's up in the upper left-hand corner. This is going to pull out the side menu, and then you can go down to Settings. In Settings at the top, there's the Alexa Devices area. You should see your Echo Dot waiting to be configured in this section, and you can tap it. It's going to take you through the setup wizard. When you finish with going through the setup wizard, it should be connected to your Wi-Fi network. At that point, the rest of the settings here are really just for fine-tuning it. Music and media will allow you to sign into some of your existing accounts for things like Spotify, Pandora, or iHeartRadio. That way you can pull up your playlist and stuff like that. There's also sports updates. This allows you to configure what kind of sports radios you can pull information from. You can either turn them off here or toggle them on if you wanted to do so. And then you can add in your home address, your work address. This will allow you to track your commute, and if things change, it will give you real-time updates on what the distance is or what time it's expecting. The home screen here is a historical view of everything that you've ever searched for on your Dot. I really don't like that it's such an easy thing to access, and I kind of wish there was a way to turn it off. Perhaps there is. I haven't figured that part of it out yet, but it just allows you to see everything you've ever searched for or anything you've ever added to your to-do list or pretty much anything that you've ever done with your Dot. Music and books, we've already gone over music, but there is also the ability to listen to audiobooks. If you have one of these two services, Audible or Kindle Books Unlimited, then you can have it read back books, which makes it a really cool thing for bedtime, especially if you have children. Shopping and to-do list, this is kind of an area where you can add through the companion application if you wanted to, things to shop for or to do. You can also view things that you've added through your Echo Dot on here if you didn't add them through the companion app itself. Timers and alarms, this is pretty self-explanatory, kind of functions in the same way as what we just looked at. You can add them through here if you wanted to, or you can just view them. Skills is an area where users that have the Echo Dot can go and upload abilities that they've created on their own to the community. So these are all things that other community users have created, and there's weird things in there like trivia and stuff like that that you can add the ability to the Echo Dot. Smart home is the area where you can connect it to other Internet of Things sort of devices. I have mine connected to my Hue Bridge. There's a number of other services that it supports that you can see here. I don't have any of those to demonstrate for you guys, but you can probably find more info by Googling it or looking it up on YouTube. And I'll show you how the lighting works a little bit later in the review. Things to try, it's kind of the card that we showed you earlier. I'm not going to go over that again. Now playing, when you have music playing through the Echo Dot, you can control it here. It's like a remote control. You can monitor your queue. You can view what you've listened to previously in your history. It's just kind of an easy way to manage the device without having to talk to it or touch it. So that's it for the setup part of this review. Moving along, let's next take a look at how the device actually works. Alright, so now we're at the feature portion of this review. What I wanted to go over first was talking to Alexa. We'll do a few tests and see what it does as far as answering questions, getting the weather, sports info, and stuff like that. And then we're also going to connect it through the receiver, see how it does with 5.1 surround sound in terms of the audio playback. And then I want to do a distance test, see how far away we can get with talking to this thing and still having it hear us, see what kind of background noise it may be susceptible to. And then the last test that we're going to do is integration with the Hue Bridge. I got a Hue Bridge and an LED light strip. We'll test that out and see how that works as far as controlling the lighting. So let me unmute this thing and then we'll get started with kind of going over the audio. So to activate it, what you have to do is assign a word. By default, it's Alexa. See how it activates the blue lighting like that? You can change the keyword to something else if you wanted to. It's really a personal preference type of thing. But let's ask it a few questions. Alexa, what's the weather today?
Currently, in San Diego, it's 62 degrees with partly sunny skies. Today, you can expect lots of clouds, with a high of 71 and a low of 57.
Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10:39.
Alexa, can you set a reminder for me?
What can I add for you?
Remind me to go to the grocery store later and get some milk.
I put go to the grocery store later. I get some milk on your to-do list.
Alexa, who's the President of the United States?
The U.S. President is Barack Obama.
Alexa, how do you feel about Barack Obama?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question I heard.
Alexa, how do you feel about Barack Obama?
I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
Alexa, do you like Barack Obama?
I don't have an opinion on that.
Alexa, what games are playing today?
Here are a few movies playing near you today. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
All right, stop.
Utopia.
Stop. Alexa, what sports games are on today?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question I heard.
Alexa, where's the nearest dispensary?
Based on your zip code settings, I found and opened a dispensary in San Diego nearby. It's 17.4 miles away on SB 420 in San Diego. Business hours for this location are not available.
Alexa, what does my commute look like?
The fastest route takes about 22 minutes, via Mira Mesa Boulevard and I-15.
Alexa, can you set an alarm for tomorrow at 5 a.m. to wake me up?
Alarm set for 5 a.m. tomorrow.
All right, so that's it for the kind of field test with the internal speakers and whatnot. You get the idea of how talking to it works. Let me connect it now to my receiver, give you guys a look at how some external audio playback sounds. All right, so now we got it connected into the auxiliary port on my receiver, video auxiliary, and it's going to play through my 5.1 surround sound. So just a quick test to see how it sounds and kind of how it works, I suppose. Alexa, play my hip hop station on Pandora.
Getting your trap rap radio from Pandora.
Liquid means rewind, a gunshot means forward. You requested it, so we rewind. Yeah.
Alexa, softer.
Turn it all up.
Alexa,
Yeah.
mute. Alexa, resume.
Hey, from a nigga. Fucking with a kid
Alexa,
and pray for your nigga.
next song.
We got
Alexa,
nothing on the track.
Pause. So that's a good idea or a good demo of kind of the hands-freeness that you can have with the Alexa voice assistant when you have it connected to your receiver. You can easily control Pandora, get it going through the 5.1. It can hear you from a pretty good distance away too, so if you're out there barbecuing or have people over and you're somewhere away from the TV, you can still control it with your voice, which is really cool. Very convenient feature to have, definitely. So that's it for the this portion of the field test, at least. Let's move along now to testing out the distance, see what kind of range we can get with this thing. All right, now we're going to do the distance test. With the distance test in mind, I'm going to test it a few different ways. First, we're going to test it with no external audio interference. Then we're going to put the TV on and we'll test it from a few different rooms in the house. So let's get started. Alexa. 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 Alright, so it was able to hear me with nothing playing externally in the background. I'm going to start some music now, and then we'll test it with some music playing and see if I can still control the audio even from a distance. Alexa, resume. So it did pretty good in the second field test also. It had no issues with pausing or resuming the music when the audio was playing back through the 5.1 surround sound. I'm sure it would be a lot worse if the volume was higher, but in that test at about, let me see what I was at. We're at negative 14 decibels, so it was pretty loud. Didn't do too bad. So that's it for this portion of the review. Next up, let's finish it off with a quick look at the Hue bridge and the Hue light integration. Alright, so with this last part of the video review, I just want to give you the disclaimer that Philips Hue light integration is not working as far as controlling the coloring of the lights. You can use it to turn them on or off, to control groups of lights, or to dim the lights, but that's pretty much the extent of it at this current time. So that's what I'm going to be demoing to you guys. So check it out. Alexa, turn TV lighting off.
Okay.
Alexa, turn TV lighting on.
Okay.
Alexa, dim the TV lighting by 50%.
Okay.
Alexa, dim the TV lighting by 25%.
Okay.
Alexa, change the color of the TV lighting to red.
I've changed the color of the T lighting to read on your to-do list.
So there it is. That's really the extent of the Hue light integration. You kind of get the idea of how it works. I imagine that one day this is going to be a very beneficial tool to have, especially if you have one of the Hue bridges. So keep that in mind. It's a really cool tool to have in your belt. And that's it for my feature portion of this review. So let's get back to the office and I'll give you my final thoughts now on the Echo Dot. Alright, so that's it for the review today, guys, on the Amazon Echo Dot. To give you my final thoughts on it, let's start with the form factor, I guess. I thought that since it was smaller, the audio wouldn't be as good. You know, I guess it really wasn't noticeable to me as far as it being any different from the bigger Echo. No, that's not true. I don't know. So that's it for my review today, guys, on the Echo Dot. To give you my final opinion on it, starting with its form factor, I really like its smaller size. It's definitely easier to fit into smaller places and kind of hide out behind other things. I also thought that perhaps due to its smaller size that it wouldn't be able to hear me from, as good a distance, but did not seem to be a problem. I tested it in almost every room throughout my home and it had no issues with hearing me. Even with the music playing, it wasn't a problem. I mean, it did have one instance where it kind of didn't hear me. It did hear me, but it didn't understand the command. But overall, it did a really good job. And the speaker itself was placed right in between the two floor speakers. So it's not even an ideal position for something like this. I mean, it's not your everyday position where you'd probably have yours, placed in your home. But it did great. I thought that was, very, very impressive. The app, I really like the app and how it kind of ties everything in together. If you're the type of person that likes to have functionality like this throughout your home, then you can integrate more than one of these into your home. You can get multiple Echo Dots and place them throughout your home, and they can all tie in together with the app. You can make groups with them in your Hue lighting and do all types of cool stuff. I mean, this thing is really an interesting device, and it's expanding its capabilities every day. Even since the original Echo was announced, they've added tons of different things to it since then. So I'm really interested in seeing kind of where it goes in the future. I heard Google's coming out with a version of their own. I'm interested in seeing that for sure. Google Voice versus Alexa would be definitely an interesting comparison. As far as the Hue test that I did in this video, I thought that was really impressive as well. It worked flawlessly. I just hope that someday there's more options as far as changing the scenes or setting specific colors or doing something along those lines. But overall, I thought it was definitely worth the $90. If you guys have any questions, of course, drop a comment. Otherwise, there is a description in the link to Amazon's site where you can get all of the details, check out all of the reviews on it. I encourage you to definitely go there and take a look. And if you enjoyed the video, thank you, and hit the like button, please. It really helps me out. And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, definitely subscribe. We got a lot of stuff coming, a lot of stuff coming. I have at least 10 things on my desk right now that I haven't reviewed that I got to get started on. So I'm going to be busy the next few weeks. So hang in there, guys. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one.